Using the severity of your daughter's disability as a base for your entitlement and then telling someone else you're not disabled enough, that is a bit mad if you ask me. But guys, this is our /EntitledParents. Nothing is too far for this first crazy entitled woman. Entitled mum yells at my disabled friend for not being disabled enough. So, a few years ago, a bunch of my friends and I went to see Anastasia on Broadway. It was amazing and a ton of fun, but also led to this encounter. During the intermission, a bunch of us went to get in line for the bathrooms. One of my friends, Em, had osteosarcoma in her leg when she was younger, and as a result has a metal rod instead of her bone, and walks with a noticeable limp. There was a line for disabled people and families, and Em and her mum got in line. A few people behind them, an older lady was pushing like a full-body wheelchair, I don't know the technical name, sorry, with, I'm assuming, her severely disabled daughter. She was in the process of yelling at everyone in front of her, because her daughter deserved to be at the front of the line. Em's mum is not the kind to be pushed around, and she told the woman that Em was disabled too, and she could wait her turn. The woman went ballistic and yelled, "Your daughter is not disabled, stop effing lying!" This went on for a bit, where the woman would yell at Em for not being disabled, and Em's mum would stand her ground and tell the woman that she was not moving, and that her and her daughter could wait just like everyone else. Eventually, they came out of the bathroom, and Em was in tears at that point. Em is one of the sweetest people that I know, and there is no way that she deserved to be yelled at for not being disabled when she doesn't even have a bone in one of her legs because they removed it because of cancer. Honestly guys, every time I come onto this subreddit, I am more and more shocked by the levels of entitlement that I see increasing every single day. And then I think to myself, how can this keep getting worse and worse? And I come across a story like this and I think, yeah, wow, it does get worse and worse. That is insane. Let's move on. Now moving on to our next story. No mom, you can't bring your baby on the Alpine coaster. As a high school worker, I worked as an attendant to a small-scale attraction. The Alpine coaster was very popular during the summer months, and the line could become hours long for just a brief ride. The ride was relatively safe, but there was a lot of dumb that happened. So, while adults were held responsible for their own actions, children needed adult supervision and could not ride independently. On to the story. I had a woman come in with her 2 small children, 7ish, and a baby under a year. She started asking me about the Alpine coaster and her kids riding. I start to explain, but before I go too deep in, I tell her that she or an adult will need to ride with the small children. You need to be 16 plus to ride independently. She goes then from pleasant to Karen in just a matter of seconds. She looks at me and tells me, "Well, that won't work. Can't you see I have a baby? The kids will have to ride with each other." I reply, "I can sell you tickets, but I'm telling you that they'll turn you away at the gate. You can try and ask a single rider if they take the kids for you. It just needs to be an adult." She then starts getting really flustered. The baby picks up on it, and even the kids look like they're 10 seconds away from a tantrum if they can't ride. She tells me loudly, "Well, fine. Give me 2 tickets and 1 for each of my kids. I'll ride with each one once." Note, only 2 people can ride at a time. It's kind of a questionable action, because the kids are kind of small, and I wouldn't want to leave one all alone with strangers running around. Then there's the baby too. With this in mind, I ask her, so you'll lead the baby with the one child while you ride with the other? She gives me an incredulous look and replies, no, they can barely hold her. I'm bringing the baby with me. Don't tell me you actually charge for babies." We don't charge for babies, because babies aren't allowed to ride Alpine coasters. My manager told me why we have this rule, and so I explained it to her. I'm sorry, the baby can't ride with you, because there's so many fast turns. The manufacturer warns that babies just don't have the strength to stabilize their head. The whiplash could damage their neck or spine. I'll note that usually once I explain this to parents, they back off. Lol. I had been asked this before, hence why I had my prepared answer. She actually rolls her eyes though and tells me, "That is ridiculous. Do you know that ever happening? The only way I can ride is with my baby, so that's what I'm going to do." I tell her again that she can't ride with the baby, and she absolutely loses it with me. She starts screaming, "I can ride with my baby! My baby's neck will be fine! I've watched the coaster video and it's not even that fast!" Anyways, it ends with me calling the manager after she won't accept my answer. She also doesn't accept the manager's answer and demands to be refunded everything she's spent so far because her family outing was ruined. But I think back a lot to her entitlement. While the manufacturer's warning was probably conservative, I can't believe a mother would risk the spine of her baby, that a mother would take that chance with the possibility of disabling her child. And for a 4-minute Alpine coaster ride, no less. Vacations make people crazy, I swear. Tourists are a whole different kind of entitled. I mean, again, I'm going back to what I said at the end of the last story. These entitled parents, they get worse and worse. This mum is literally risking the death of her toddler, her baby. I'm sorry. If you take your baby on a high-speed roller coaster with lots of turns, this person is right. You're not going to be able to stabilize its neck. It's a baby, man. I can't even believe I'm having to explain this. What a stupid individual. Like, legit, I'm sorry. This person is potentially saving this woman from manslaughter. Because if her baby was to die on this ride, she would be going to prison for a very long time. Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. I don't even know what to say. I just don't get it, you know. Roller coasters are quite dangerous, and for that reason, there are very strict security measures and protocols. The manufacturer has to do loads of testing to even get a roller coaster built in the first place. Why do these people not even care for the rules, man? I just don't get it. Speaking of safety and security, by the way, if you do want to stay safe online, then Dashlane, the kind sponsor of today's video, is your answer. Dashlane is the easiest way to keep yourself safe and secure online. With quarantine, social distancing, and isolation still happening all over the world, we are using the internet more than ever right now. And Dashlane offers you an easy way to stay safe at all times online. Their VPN servers can encrypt your data at the push of a button, keeping you secure. And it also allows you to choose any country you would like to virtually be in, so you can access content from across the world which would otherwise be blocked on sites like Netflix. Also, any TikTok fans watching right now in America, you will know that the app is going to be banned very shortly. That means the only way you'll be able to access it is via a VPN like Dashlane's, so this is perfect for you. Dashlane also offers a safe, simple, and affordable way to store and fill your passwords and personal information. Their autofill makes logging into any website incredibly safe and easy. Just click once to log in and Dashlane will do the rest, even creating a secure password that you will never have to remember if you like. To put it simply, Dashlane works on everything, everywhere. So, download Dashlane on your first device for free today by going to www.dashlane.com/Redditor. Then, if you want to upgrade to premium to use Dashlane across all your devices, you can use my promo code Redditor to get a discount off your first year. So guys, if that sounds like something you might enjoy, check out the link in the description, the pinned comment, it's on screen right now. I've been using it myself for way over a year now, and I've loved it, so go download it. Now moving on to our third story, Karen tells me to stop speaking a foreign language because foreign languages come from Satan. Hello, all you lovely cats and kittens out there. Oh boy, have I got a story for you. Didn't know that Carol Baskin liked the Entitled Parents subreddit, but hey, here we go. So to start off, I'm an American man, born and raised, but I'm a French major, so I speak French near fluently. In fact, while studying abroad in France, I passed the DALF, which means that I speak French well enough to work and study in France. I'm very proud of this, as well as my love for French culture and linguistics. My roommate, a female, is also a French major and is also a Francophile. We go to school together in the Bible Belt of the States. Cue the story. As I said, my roommate and I are both French majors, so we speak French to each other about as often as we speak English. It's a great way to practice the language, and it's a nice us thing. Anyway, we go to the grocery store for some much needed body and more needed blood of Christ. We're talking in French about what we're going to do on the weekend. Meals, class, people we want to have sex with, a myriad of things. I noticed the Karen. Haircut, flashy bedazzled top for someone half her age and size, no mask, everything, giving us weird looks in the produce area. But that happens a lot when you speak a foreign language in public, and you throw people a bit off guard. We're used to it. What we're not used to is the Karen following us as we walk around the store shopping. Whatever, she's not bothering us, just being weird. In the cheese section, we start talking about cheese in French, much to the amusement of the employees. We're having fun. Finally, the blood of Christ section. Wine, by the way, guys. My roommate and I get a case of bread water and look for some stuff we can pair with our ingredients. We're having a great time, really forgotten about Karen. But she hasn't forgotten about us. Something about the wine must have triggered her, because she comes barreling up to us. Stop this right now. Sorry? I said stop. I know what you're trying to do. I've been watching you this whole time. My roommate says, well, that makes one of us. Do you know what country you're in? Do you know who the president is? I hope so, otherwise I'm having a stroke. Yes, we're both sassy, sue us, I love it. In this country, we speak English. Stop speaking Spanish or whatever and speak the Lord's language. Trump should have rounded all of you Satan-worshipping LGBT, but I'm male and my roommate is female. Oh, it doesn't matter. Black Lives Matter, Antifa pedos, and gassed you. Wow, that is a little bit excessive. Now, as it would happen, my roommate is Jewish and speaks Hebrew. I don't, so I can't tell you what she said, just that it was Hebrew. My roommate therefore says something in Hebrew. Stop that! You stop that right now! I bet you're putting a curse on my child! She continues screaming incoherent nonsense I don't remember. But I'm just speaking the Lord's language. Happy Rosh Hashanah. Karen loses her mind. She starts screaming at the top of her lungs, demanding the manager and police and fire and Jesus, what? I think this is hilarious. I'm making jokes to my roommate in French, which only annoys Karen even more. Finally, the nice manager comes over. Is there a problem over here? Karen starts blasting him with incoherent screams, which makes her child start crying. Mom, please calm down, you're disturbing the other customers. But they're disturbing me with their perverted ways. Look, they made my daughter cry. Do something about this. Hi folks, are you all still looking around or are you ready to check out? We're just looking for some wine. The manager asked us what we like and recommended some of his favorites and we check out. He gives us an employee discount for our trouble, but ultimately he said he couldn't do anything about her because she hadn't been physical with us. Karen shouted at us the entire time, calling us devil worshippers and Satan and terrorists and whatever. Kinda anticlimactic and everything. It sucks that nothing happened to her, but the wine was on frickin' point, so at least some good came out of it. Oh, this is by far one of my most favourite stories I've read out in a little while on this channel. Yeah, the Karen was annoying, but you know, who cares? I see annoying Karens all the time. The two legends of this story are OP and his roommate. What absolute cracking lads. If anyone ever tells you guys that you're in a certain country and therefore you have to speak a certain language, just tell them that that is not the case. That is actually quite racist, let's be honest, and just continue speaking the language you are speaking in. It doesn't matter. Now moving on to our final story of today's video. This one is actually sent in by one of you guys. Entitled Boy Scout makes trip miserable and ruins our game. Mum doesn't care and Scout leader defends him. Hey Redditor, I have been watching since 25k. Your content is great and I watch it every day. Keep up the good work. First of all, mate, thank you very much. What lovely words. Okay, before I start this story, I want to clarify that everything I say here is 100% real. Most of the stories on this sub are funny, but some are not believable. In this story, no one was arrested for over 50 years and no one was killed. But one thing that was killed was my enjoyment on this Boy Scout trip. Want to know how? Okay, let's go. So recently we had a trip to a battleship called the USS Iowa. It was an overnight trip where we got to eat in the mess hall and sleep in the barracks. I signed up. What could possibly go wrong? Every freaking thing went wrong. We started the trip with some subtle flexing. When I arrived at the pickup location, here is when the cast arrives. Let's make a fake name for the entitled kid, Jacob. By the way, I'm 15 and a freshman and Jacob is 10 and in 5th grade. When I arrived, he was yelling at everyone to get into his mum's car, a Tesla Model X. I didn't want to and I went in a Chevy. Good choice. My ride was uneventful, but the other ride was quite eventful. My friend went in the Tesla, and he told me all that Jacob was talking about. He told me that Jacob was shoving the price of the car in everyone's face, 100 grand. He begged to play on people's phones and screamed when someone turned off his Netflix that came with the car. I was not surprised. We got up to the barracks to drop off our sleeping bags and backpacks. Nothing went wrong until the tour. Jacob was constantly making noises and asking stupid questions when the tour guide was talking, and even said at the memorial for the people that died on the ship They're so stupid, they can't even handle a gun. A cannon blew up on the ship and 47 people died. I doubt Jacob would even be able to hold a gun, let alone shoot one. The tour went on with him making stupid noises and questions without his mum saying anything. When we were about to finish, there were some vending machines. I bought a Fanta and some water. When I was leaving, Jacob asked if he could have something. I told him to go buy a drink. He said I should buy it. I straight up left. I was out. $100,000 car, Jacob, and you can't afford a Fanta. Wow. When all of the other kids were asleep in the barracks, me, my friend, and some other people went to go play some games outside of the barracks at the tables and chairs. I brought some candy, and as soon as I took it out, Jacob ran out of his bed and over to us. Can I have some? No. Please? No. Please, 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 please? No. Jacob was still asking us, and then my friend's brother came up. Now he kindly and calmly asked for some candy. I gave him the whole bag of Sour Patch Bites. Jacob then chased after him, and I doubt my friend's brother even survived, to be honest. I went to go sleep, and some other kids, including Jacob, were playing games. The wall to the other area is thin, so they start pounding the wall non-stop. 15 freaking minutes later, they aren't stopping. I rush out of bed and yell at them. Stop, I'm trying to sleep. They just start laughing and I walk away. They stopped at least, and I went back to sleep. Tomorrow rolls around and we are getting ready to leave. I go to the gift shop and buy some friends freeze-dried ice cream. When I get up to the bridge to leave, my friend gives me a piece of his. I thank him and get ready to leave with my bag, until Jacob rolls around and starts to beg again. I have never had it before. Please, 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 I'm begging you. Come on, I want a little bit. Shut the heck up. I said heck because he was a little kid, and I gotta try to keep it PG. His mum pulls up and asks for me to give him a piece. I just leave right then and there. Trip is over. Story is not. A few days pass and I'm at the weekly scout meeting. This meeting is special because it's a game night. My friend, my friend's brother, and some other people play cards with me. Jacob comes up to us and asks us to play. I told him no. This keeps going for a while, and even the other people are now telling him to leave. Everything is all normal until he grabs the deck of cards and puts them behind his back. He said he wouldn't give them back unless we let him play. I go to the scout leader. Now I expect our scout leader to help us out, but he just tells us to let him play and that we are being selfish. I just give up and let him play. We mess with him and give him the wrong cards and cheat on purpose. He rage quits and the meeting ends later. I am so annoyed at this entitled kid for making this whole scout troop miserable, and I just want him to leave. Well, that concludes my semi-intense entitled kid story. Thanks for reading, and Redditor, keep up the great work. Well, mate, thank you for the great story. Yeah, very much enjoyed this story. Thank you very much for sending it in, bro. Yeah, overall, the kid's only 10 years old. Hopefully, eventually, when he gets a bit older and more mature, he'll grow out of bragging so much about things that his parents own. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't seem like the best kid, but it's kind of harmless, isn't it? It's annoying, but just got to deal with it. Sorry, mate. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. Please remember to go into the description, the pinned comment, check out Dashlane. If you've been around here for a while, you will know how much they have supported this channel. So please go and support them. It works. It's a two-way thing. I love the product. They love me and you guys, and now you should love them. I don't know what I'm saying. If you want more, boom, subscribe, check out another video, and I will see you all tomorrow with a brand new one. Peace.